Ramadan is the month of charity, but you might do this one thing which might lead to two absolutely different outcomes on the Day of Judgment. Either it will be reduced to nothing on the Day of Judgment, or it will lead to be multiplied by 700 times or more. The difference is just this one thing, which we will discuss in this video. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to day 3 of Better You in 30 Days series. If you are new here, I'm Umama, a consultant turned entrepreneur based in Paris, and on this channel, we talk about how to be successful in both worlds. The most beautiful thing is how Allah explains and gives the example of these two types of people. So let's go ahead and first read what the verses say and then try to understand a little bit and see how we can apply it in our life. The verse is 2:261. The example of those who spend their wealth in the cause of Allah is that of a grain that sprouts into 7 years. So these are the people who are spending it in the cause of Allah, each bearing 100 grains. So out of these 7 years, 100 grains come out, and Allah multiplies the reward even more to whoever He wills, for Allah is all bountiful. So these are the person whose reward is multiplied to 700 times or more because they spent their money only for Allah. These are the people who spend their wealth in the cause of Allah and do not follow their charity with reminders of their generosity or hurtful words. They will get their reward from their Lord, and they will have no fear, and nor will they grieve. So this is an explanation of how do they spend. So no reminders, no show off, just focused on spending it for making Allah happy. Kind words and forgiveness are better than charity followed by injury, and Allah is self-sufficient, most forbearing. So these are the first type of people. Now we will move on to the second type of people whose rewards are reduced to zero on the Day of Judgment. Believers, do not waste your charity with reminders of generosity or hurtful words, like those who donate their wealth just to show off and do not believe in Allah or the last day. Their example is that of a hard, barren rock covered with a thin layer of soil hit by a strong rain, leaving it just a bare stone. So the top layer of the mud gets washed off, and all that is left is the stone. Such people are unable to preserve the reward of their charity, and Allah does not guide such disbelieving people. If you remember from part 1, Allah describes that the hearts can also be like rocks. So there is something which is in their heart which causes it to not bear fruit. Since the layer of mud was very, very superficial, the rain actually had no impact on the rock. The thin layer got washed off, and there was no plant or no fruit from the heart or from the lives of these sort of people. But now we see the example of the people that we discussed before who will get the reward of 700 times or more. And it is so beautiful how Allah explains that, and the example of those who donate their wealth seeking Allah's pleasure and believing the reward is certain is that of a garden on a fertile hill. When heavy rain falls, it yields up twice its normal produce. So those type of people, nothing, the top layer of soil, it gets washed off. And these type of people, they get the fruit twice the amount. If no heavy rain falls, a drizzle is sufficient. So even if they don't get a large amount of rain, even just little tiny drops will let them get twice the amount of fruit. And Allah is all seeing of what you do. If you look and think about these examples, it's absolutely amazing how the external conditions are exactly the same. Heavy rain, the word Allah uses is wabil, which is like super heavy rain, and both of them get the same external conditions. But the difference in the outcome or the difference in the acceptance is based on what is in their hearts. What is their intention? Is their intention to please Allah, or is it to please the people? Are they doing it to show off, or are they just seeking Allah's reward and Allah's pleasure and just His happiness? So this difference in the intent causes the hardness of the heart. So either their heart is like a rock, or it becomes something like a fertile land, and which sprouts twice the fruit. So it shows that all it comes to is definitely our intention. The external condition will be the same. Allah has given this potential. This outcome is possible for any one of us, but the outcome only differs based on our intention, our purity of thought, and what exactly or who exactly are we doing this for. So for any charity or any money that we spend, I need to see that, is it for Allah? Is the intent right? Or is it just to show people? Allah further explains this example by saying, would any of you wish to have a garden with palm trees, grapevines, and all kinds of fruits, with rivers flowing underneath? And as they grow very old with dependent children, a fiery whirlwind hits the garden, burning it all up. This is how Allah makes His revelations clear to you. So perhaps you will reflect. So there is a huge garden that we have sowed, and it has reaped beautiful things. So there is palm trees, there is grapevines, there is even a river flowing underneath. And you spent all your life planting those trees, tending to them with so much care, with so much effort. And now finally you are at an old age where you should be able to bear the fruit and enjoy the rewards of all the hard work that you put in. And it's beautiful. It shows that, it is kind of like life. So you spend your entire life working hard, giving it all for Allah, and then you finally reach Allah and you realize that all of the trees that you planted, there you don't find them there, and it's like a whirlwind came and it disrupted your entire garden. It burnt it all down. And the example of children is very interesting because it shows that you're at an old age, so you cannot grow this garden again. You are in the afterlife, so you cannot go back and grow the garden again. And your kids are small and dependent, so they cannot grow the garden for you. So it means that the closest friends, or even your kids, or people who are so close and so dear to you, they cannot sow the seeds, they cannot reap the fruits or send you anything if the garden that you planted is reduced to fire. So nobody can benefit you if your garden, if your intention, if your state of heart was not pure or was not sincere. So once you go and stand in front of Allah, it's like the book is closed and nobody can help you anymore. Nobody can grow your garden for you. And it's scary because we might be doing outwardly all the actions that we might be thinking, oh, we are so close to Allah, inshallah, Allah will give us heaven. But we might lose it all just because of insincere intentions. This is all that I wanted to share for this video. If this is something which you found interesting, you can go ahead, and Allah also explains what we should spend then. So He talks about how we should spend the best things and we should not worry or be scared of poverty, because this is the thought that eventually comes in our head if we start to give to other people. And that is all for me from Juice 3. Let me know what struck the chord or what did you resonate with the most. And inshallah, I will see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.